Ben Affleck has often said he loves his family, his children, and the life he has built, but wishes he could keep more of it private. Growing up, he learned early how scrutiny follows anyone in the public eye. Benjamin Guzza Affleck was born on August 15, 1972, in Berkeley, California. His mother, Chris Ann, was educated at Harvard and worked as a teacher, while his father, Timothy Byers Affleck, pursued writing and acting, though steady employment was hard to maintain. When Ben was only a few months old, the family moved across the country to Massachusetts, where his younger brother Casey was born 3 years later. Their home was filled with books, scripts, and creativity, but also the strain of alcoholism and financial instability. His parents separated when he was 11, and his mother raised the boys in Cambridge on a tight budget, relying on food stamps at times. Despite difficulties, she encouraged Ben's early interest in performing. Affleck began acting young. At 7, he joined the PBS series The Voyage of the Mimi, which aired nationwide and gave him his first experience with professional sets and memorizing dense scientific dialogue. By 14, he appeared in Wanted, The Perfect Guy, and through his teens continued working in television and small film roles. When he was 17, he appeared briefly in Field of Dreams and also worked on projects like The Flash. Around this time he became close with Matt Damon, whom he met in school. They bonded over acting, spent hours writing scenes, and dreamed of making films together. After high school, Affleck attended the University of Vermont briefly before leaving to pursue acting full-time. He and Damon eventually moved to Los Angeles with limited money, shared cramped living spaces, and endured countless auditions. Together they began writing what would become Good Will Hunting. They spent years rewriting, receiving guidance from established filmmakers, and refining the emotional heart of the story. When the film finally reached production with Miramax, Affleck took on the role of Chucky, working hard to capture a Boston voice authentically. The film's success was enormous. In 1998, Affleck and Damon won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, a moment that marked the beginning of Affleck's rise in Hollywood. Success came quickly afterward. He acted in Armageddon, enduring long physical shoots with stunt harnesses and training, then in Pearl Harbor, a large-scale wartime drama with demanding action sequences. His personal life, however, grew complicated. High-profile relationships, increasing fame, and industry pressure made normalcy harder to maintain. In the early 2000s, his drinking escalated and he entered rehab in 2001, acknowledging his struggle with addiction publicly. In 2007, Affleck made his directorial debut with Gone Baby Gone. Filmed largely on location in Boston, the movie's authenticity and emotional weight earned critical praise. He followed it with The Town in 2010, an intense heist drama filmed partly at Fenway Park and shaped by extensive research into real robberies. The production demanded realism, down to sound design and casting choices, and audiences responded strongly. Affleck continued pushing himself creatively, taking risks with directing and acting. Yet monumental studio projects like Batman v Superman and Justice League also came during difficult years personally. Preparing physically for Batman required intense training, and creative disagreements over tone added stress. Justice League became particularly difficult when production changed hands and Affleck was simultaneously facing turmoil in his personal life. He stepped away from directing the Batman in 2017, choosing to protect his mental health. He returned to rehab, focusing on recovery and stability. Affleck first met Jennifer Garner while filming Pearl Harbor, but romance came later in 2003 during Daredevil. They connected over shared values and a desire for a grounded life away from Hollywood's glare. They married quietly in 2005 during a small ceremony, even substituting wedding bands with key cards when rings were forgotten. Their daughter Violet was born that same year, and Affleck embraced fatherhood, taking time off to learn and adjust. They later welcomed 2 more children, Serafina and Samuel. Despite busy careers, they aimed for balance and privacy, often shielding their family from the spotlight. Their marriage, however, faced pressure from media attention, work demands, and Affleck's ongoing battle with alcoholism. He later admitted he drank heavily during difficult periods and used alcohol to escape stress. Garner supported him through multiple attempts at sobriety, even driving him to rehab and attending meetings to better understand addiction. They tried counseling and continued parenting together, but by 2015 they announced their separation. The process was lengthy, but both prioritized their children, finalizing divorce in 2018 with joint custody. Affleck later said the breakup was painful, but ultimately healthier than staying in a household filled with strain. Even after separating, they worked as a team, co-parenting respectfully and maintaining family traditions. Garner remained a steady presence during his relapses, including one in 2019. Affleck often expressed gratitude for her support and called her an important part of his life. Their dedication to raising their children together became one of the most admired aspects of their story. As Affleck rebuilt his career with directing projects, sobriety, and personal reflection, he collaborated again with Damon to form the production company Artist Equity. Their film Air was released in 2023 and showed Affleck's renewed focus and creative clarity. In interviews, he spoke about growth, honesty, and learning from past mistakes. He acknowledged the challenges of public scrutiny and the misconceptions that followed his relationships, emphasizing his commitment to family and self-improvement. By 2025, Affleck continued to reflect openly on his life. He talked about the pressures of fame, mistakes he made, and the way time reshapes understanding. He credited Garner not only for helping him through addiction, but for co-parenting with stability, celebrating holidays together, and creating a united environment for their children. Their relationship evolved from marriage into partnership rooted in respect. Affleck expressed that what mattered most was raising good kids and maintaining peace. He spoke of the relief that came from honesty, maturity, and letting go of old narratives, focusing instead on growth and gratitude.